Evening, everybody. It's Friday night. It's about 9 o'clock. It's time for What's on Joe Mind. If you've been following our Twitter feed, you know that we abandoned G.I. Joe this week. We are instead going with cute dog pictures. So we'll be back with you after our theme song. That's it. Good night, everybody.
Whoa.
We're just giving a picture of the furry little knotheads.
She asked me for something and I delivered.
Celebrity cameo.
Wow.
Excellent. So you're almost in the background. You're like half fuzzy and half not. You need to get closer to the screen.
Yeah.
Because she's got her weird no background filter up. She's ashamed of your house, Wes.
Oh my god.
Me.
That too. I was trying to be gentle about it, but
God.
you know.
Well, I'm sure the place is a mess because you have to start prepping for the annual convergence of the Santas.
There.
Or because Wes ripped his box of armor into 100 pieces the second he
No,
got
actually,
home.
I opened it very carefully because I didn't want to damage it before I put it on.
And then I put it on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you placed it upon yourself. She had to put it on me though.
He can't dress himself.
No, that's why he got married.
Wait,
so,
did you?
Welcome to What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of G.I. Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. Sorry to continue our weird discussions through the beginning of the program. Joe Colton can't show up before 9, so we apparently have all of her pre-show discussions now in the show. That's apparently how that's going to work.
It's ratings, baby.
That's it.
Something like that. Clearly.
Have
Hey,
fun.
we'll be begging for those conversations, like sometime around the middle of September.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So to recap, Wes opened the box carefully so the armor didn't break.
Well, he had a knife, so he didn't want to scratch the leather.
Oh, here he comes. He's gonna defend it.
Box cutter. I didn't want to put a gash in the leather.
Did you order the fragile?
Joe, stop talking about me.
Did he order the fragile armor?
It was Italian, fragile.
Oh,
He like got it on, and he's like being really careful, and I was like, it's leather, just like because
Right.
I wear a lot of leather armor, so he's not used to.
He must have been thrilled not to have to rivet that thing even once.
Let's see everybody in. Joe and Wes are getting ready for Dragon Con, which is in just a few weeks in Atlanta, Georgia, Labor Day weekend.
Freaking out.
And yeah, Wes is doing the proper thing and preparing in advance. Joe Colton will be putting together foam bits the night before. Count on it.
It's factual.
But joining me here in the top row tonight, the former head of marketing for the G.I. Joe team at Hasbro, it's the hot Joe, Mark Weber.
That's right. Accent on the former. I don't know if you can bold or caps lock that enough, but.
So, Mark, what'd you do with your week off?
Well, the week off was actually more of last week. Because started a new job on Monday, so doing the 8 to 5 and Monday through Friday thing. So there you go.
Do you mind? Are you allowed to say?
I guess I am. I mean, it's not.
I mean, they ain't paying us, but you can plug it once because it's new.
Oh, there we go. So I'm just working product development for one of the bigger trade show companies out there. They're called Displays to Go, with a 2 in the middle that shows that they're super hip. But the funny thing is, during the pandemic, everybody went home at Displays to Go, and they took that opportunity to sink a lot of money into redoing the whole office, everything brand new, adjustable desks for everybody, spaced them all 6 feet apart. Beautiful, beautiful office. And then now that people can come back, they're kind of used to working at home, and they all did a great job from home. So it's a little bit of a ghost town. But I'm new, guys, so I'm there.
How does it feel?
Waking
up early now.
A tumbleweed went by the other day in the office. No, but everybody there is super nice. And I'm used to working. The last 5 years have been a struggle. Honestly, bouncing back and forth between consulting for Tops, working for Toy State, working for RMS, getting my MBA, working at the school my kids go to, and I got something from every one of those. But I'm an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday kind of guy. So I really, really appreciate the opportunity from them, and everything's been super. Everybody's been super nice, so I'm excited about it. So there you go, back in the saddle.
Awesome, always good to hear. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Been chasing that for a while.
Nobody's clapping along with me, but that's fine.
I'm trying to keep this thing from sliding off my lap.
Show prep. Joining us in the bottom row, showing up at seconds before 9 p.m. She's the co-hostess with the co-mostess and the queen of G.I. Joe cosplay. It's Joe Colton, everyone.
Hello. Happy Friday.
Joe Colton, what'd you do with your week off?
What did I do with my week off? Oh, I had dinner with my husband.
What?
A couple times.
And then we watched I think we watched The Gray Man.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, real good. They're gonna do a spin-off and a prequel.
Is that on Amazon or Netflix?
Not
Netflix.
Yeah.
Isn't the spinoff with the mercenary guy they fought, who was kind of cool?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think the other part is with the chick, like the girl that drives the car and helps him.
Okay.
And,
isn't that Ana de Armas? That's
yes, they wanted her to be the next Bond.
She's great. That'd be great.
She was great in that movie. She was great in that Bond movie.
Look, anybody can be 007.
Maybe.
James Bond is a British guy.
Yeah.
So somebody doesn't pay attention. Thanks for watching.
Now, in his defense, we did do a show Thursday.
Yeah, we did do it Tuesday, but that was just you and me.
Yeah.
And so Racktime Rob, everybody's wondering in the chat, what's it like being big time?
As soon as I get there, I'll tell you.
All right. There you have it.
We're on the list.
We are on the list.
We haven't been on the list in a long time.
No, well, there was no list really. We were the list for a while.
That's true.
And yeah, so yeah, it was nice to be back, and thanks to everyone at Hasbro's PR bunch for inviting us to be a part. Of course, they do these things on Thursday afternoon, and everybody has jobs, so it wasn't really an option for us. But Shiftless Layabout Rob was in the last week of his summer vacation. He's back at school this week, but last week he was free, so we got to send Rob to the big Hasbro roundtable, and Rob and I were on Thursday night. So we really didn't have a week off. Sucks to be us.
Those roundtables are longer than you think.
Have you recovered?
From last week or from today?
Well, just in general.
Rob, when do you go back?
We started. I went back Monday. We had kids for the first time Wednesday, and my this year the theme will be I'm always going to be in the bathroom. In fact, I'm going to be in there so often, I think I'm just going to change my last name to Fonzarelli. So,
wow,
it's going to be my office.
Just wash your hands.
Oh,
always.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe. Screw the rest of us, but hey, Joe.
Yeah. What the heck, man?
Come on.
Ban that guy.
Oh, not even 10 minutes in, and I've turned on the crowd today. How about that?
Why?
Damn.
How do you like that?
You.
Hey, Joe. Banzord.
Hi. How are
dare
you?
Be a fan of one of our hosts? Boom.
Right.
Hi,
Remember, if you're
Glenn.
watching us on Facebook, be sure to give us some kind of a reaction. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a heart. Give us a little huggy guy. We love Little
We
Huggy.
love Little Huggy Guy.
If you're catching us on YouTube, thank you. That's where you're helping us the most. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to our channel, use those share buttons and filter us into your various social media circles, because Lord knows what this YouTube metric is, but it certainly doesn't service the little guys, and that's certainly us. Shoot, we have friends who have 20, 30, 50,000 subscribers, and it doesn't work for them either. So you imagine what kind of a chance we've got. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you coming by every week. A lot of familiar names already in the live chat. We really appreciate you guys.
Joe's taking an Oreo break. Busted.
What are you going off camera to eat an Oreo? We already know you have Oreos.
I need to go get milk.
Okay. You know what? Gotta have. Wait, what flavor Oreos? They look weird.
Peanut butter.
So that's frankly incredible.
Yeah, they're good.
Go on. I'm going to rant while you're gone. Go ahead.
Based on really what flavor she was going to tell us, but peanut butter, I'll allow it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, original is still the best, but peanut butter is acceptable.
Is double stuff better than original?
Not for me.
Okay.
I think the original got that balance.
I'm not going to criticize if you prefer double stuff, but not my choice. My choice is original or the reverse ones when you can get the golden cookies with the chocolate cream.
You
don't see them very often.
But the new vanilla or the golden Oreo, it's the best vanilla sandwich cookie, just like the regular Oreo is the best chocolate sandwich cookie.
But whoever the new Oreo marketing guy or gal was like 3 years ago, who just went, "We'll make every flavor."
They deserve a promotion, frankly, because it gets you talking about Oreos.
Have you had any of the rogue flavors that you really like, though?
Well, I mean, peanut butter is one of them.
Yeah,
I'll give you peanut butter.
I love carrot cake. Carrot cake's fantastic.
The mocha coffee one is really good.
That one is good. I'm not even a coffee guy, but the coffee Oreo, very good.
But normal carrot cake is garbage.
I like carrot cake on the side, but the buttercream filling in the Oreo. All
right. Maybe I've judged too harshly. I'm not buying that carrot cake bullshit, though.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Matt Rubin is correct. Mint Oreos are fantastic. They are amazing. The super dark fudge ones are great. No, there's all kinds
too
of
much
that are fantastic.
Too much.
You're wrong.
Too much fudge. Too much.
You're incorrect.
Not the fudge covered ones, but the ones that have like the dark chocolate fudge cream in them.
I'll tell you this though, the dill pickle ones suck.
But
Gross.
there have been
rare miss.
Awful ones. The Lady Gaga ones were not good. The Swedish fish ones were not good.
Ooh,
the jalapeno popper ones were strangely tasty.
Yeah, the crispy coating was all right. So anyways, we have a huge undertaking ahead of us tonight. Let's go ahead and get to community calendar and get this show on the road.
There's a Comic-Con or a toy show. What's on Joe mind? Wants to know. Tell Mike, Mark, and Joe. Community calendar.
I love that I've just popped the video, the audio on that. I don't think I'm ever going to change it.
I saw nothing.
Good.
No, I didn't see the commercial thing.
Oh, well, sorry. It's still the same as it was last week.
Yeah.
You must have got a lag.
Spoiler, there's a girl in it in the ankle lock.
Right.
She doesn't tap, though. She must be tough.
She does not tap.
Nope.
Does not tap.
She looks distressed, but she is not tapping.
She's crawling for that rope.
Hey, at least she didn't get her head superimposed onto a random rapper from Getty Images.
True.
Careful with Getty, man. They'll sue like crazy.
You got a bunch of stuff there.
They're pretty protective.
So anyways, this weekend, Matt Rubin, the king of Pittsburgh, did not let us know about this one too far in advance. But this weekend, starting today, in the Monroeville Convention Center outside of Pittsburgh, Steel City Con is going on. Wayne Knight, Newman from Seinfeld, is there all 3 days. So
Hello,
look out
Newman.
there. If you're in the area, there's tickets and more info available at steelcitycon.com. There's lots of guests at Steel City Con. It's a really big show, actually. I decided to go with Wayne Knight because I think he's hilarious.
Wayne Brady will be there as well.
He will not. No, that is not confirmed.
Bruce Wayne.
No.
He's gonna be there.
No. Wayne Newton.
No,
Wayne Gretzky.
Well, that'd be cool.
Joe will go. Canadian hockey player.
Also this weekend, but tomorrow, so you have a chance. In the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area at Carlisle, Toys for the Ages. That is Saturday. Tickets sold at the door. General admission is $5 for 10 a.m. entry. You can get early bird entry for $10 at 9 a.m. And that's a lot of numbers that I'm pretty impressed with myself that I kept clean. Kids 12 and under are free. Thanks to Israel Wilkinson for the info here. Matt Rubin is officially slipping because he did not get me this show in the Pittsburgh area. So,
Wow, just picking fights with all the loyal viewers.
I have turned heel. That's correct. I have turned heel. Oh. Matt Rubin doesn't pay too much attention to Central PA. Well, maybe if he did, he wouldn't get called out on the show. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
Dave Stroh says that font is fantastic. I agree. That's a good logo. They should all spend that much time on their logo. See, Joe, you're even getting blocked out by all the quotes I put on the screen. So you can
Look at that.
chomp Oreos all you want.
Double stack it.
There you go. You can do all kinds of gross stuff. We're never gonna know.
At least he's not like taking the top off. And
I made that sound worse than it was. Yeah.
I can't do that to an Oreo.
I didn't even know what that was. That's no English, Keith.
I mean, she speaks 7 languages, so I'm going to guess it.
Yeah, and 8 if you count Oreo.
Yeah.
But I understand that one. I mean, Cookie Monster is my spirit animal.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'd have known it if it was Oreo.
I was worried. Oh, go ahead.
Oscar the Grouch is my spirit animal.
Yeah.
I was worried you were going to drop the superimposed quote, and she was going to be scraping the Oreo clean with her teeth. That's so gross, but some people do that. Now she looks like George Brett.
At this rate, Heel Mike will have only Brandon Cutler as an ally. No, I will turn my back on Brandon Cutler.
Oh,
You just go big or just don't go at all.
See, here's productivity. Rachel Mendoza says, "Darn, now I have to go bake cookies."
Mhm.
That's what we call quality.
as long as Joe is not baking cookies, we're okay with that.
Right. Well, there would be open flame seen in her background.
We'd see Wes running around with a fire extinguisher.
Wes, I burned your armor with the chocolate chip cookies.
We would, if no other good comes from this show, cookies for the Mendoza family. Andrew Galgan says, rending the Oreo cream like she's pulling marrow from a bone.
It's a long show. Wes may not get any of those Oreos.
Right. Next week, Saturday, August 20, from 10 to 4, at the Hershey Logic Convention Center in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It is the Hershey action figure and toy show, and perhaps chocolate. Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, there better be. I
mean, right? But Andrew Garrison let us know about this one, which is odd in that Andrew Garrison lives like 40 minutes from here. But $5 admission, $10 early bird VIP. You can get more information at HersheyToyCon.com.
So all the shows are in Pennsylvania now, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, this is an Indiana guy telling us about a Hershey.
Yeah.
So
our pal Adrian McCarthy is leaving us to go listen to the Cardinals and the Bengals.
You are leaving us for preseason football.
And even worse, it's Ron Wolfley telling you all about the Cardinals because he used to play special teams.
God. That's a pretty good Wolfley, I'll be honest with you.
That's
Whoa.
the mighty king of the mailbag has fallen.
Oh man.
It looks like the quarterback put in his 4 hours of contractually required film work this week.
There's only one thing worse than preseason football. The
No,
Pro
there's
Bowl.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that.
not. Okay, fair enough. Postseason football, yes. Yeah. Stanton 905. Sorry,
CFL is on.
CFL is on.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, it's
Is it at least regular season?
At least regular season.
Yeah,
All
this-
right, there we
this-
go.
You got to give him a pass. It's that big Rough Riders versus Rough Riders game
Hey,
tonight.
you know what? Regular season. Fair enough.
It's at least regular. The game counts at least.
Man,
The guys on the roster today will be on the roster tomorrow.
isn't it the Deshaun Watson debut tonight?
Are they actually playing him?
I think. Oh, they said they were going to start him. So it's one of the only times you can be sure that he's actually not assaulting a woman. Is he'll be on camera tonight. So that's
I don't know. Is the team they're playing have cheerleaders?
Only 2 NFL teams don't. Name them.
It's more than 2, though, isn't there?
I think it's only 2.
No, because the Packers don't.
Packers don't. Not to be creepy. The Packers have high school squads come in and rotate for home games.
The
Okay.
Giants don't.
Giants don't?
Nope.
Giants do not.
No, it's at least 3. I thought it was just 2.
No, there's something like a half dozen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Bears don't.
It's too cold in Chicago. The
Right.
Bears want a cheerleading squad, just
They
no one's
have.
trying out
They have at different times during their history, but they don't.
Yeah.
They haven't for a while.
because nobody's applied for the job opening in 10 years.
Right. Well, more like 40. But you know, it was a hardier kind of cheerleader back in the late.
Huskier too.
Well,
Load it up on sausage.
Steelers never had cheerleaders.
Yeah.
but moving on,
Hmm.
and of course, Dragon Con, Labor Day weekend in Atlanta.
Coming right up, Joe.
You can get tickets and info at dragoncon.org. Dozens, if not hundreds of guests, hundreds, if not thousands of performers. Joe Colton will be there. All of Joe Colton's friends will be there, except for us, because I can't take that much bard music.
It's not only bard music.
I can't
Oh, I told there's Klingon opera. There's people trying to put lyrics to like the Knight Rider theme. You know.
Oh my god, there is not.
Our dedicated fan Channing Sherman will be hosting a G.I. Joe panel at Dragon Con, so be sure to check that out if you're going to Dragon Con. So we will be represented.
I like it when we can look down our nose at other fandoms and go, nerd.
I mean, we really can't, but
Yeah.
No, that's the point.
Who are we doing that to?
yeah, right. There's an 11 in our logo. We don't really get to look down at anyone.
I would say GoBots fans, I think.
There's
Is that really a
GoBots
community
fans?
calendar con? That thing is huge. Yeah, Dragon Con is gigantic, but Joe Colton's going to be there. She's going to miss 2 weeks worth of shows to be at Dragon Con. So
2 weeks.
Dragon Con.
So
How long
there's
is
like
Dragon Con?
80,000 people who go. It's like a 5-day con, but I also have to go possibly get my mom the next weekend.
Okay, fair enough.
We're just going to lump that into more Dragon Con post-show activities.
Yes.
She's going to drive from Washington to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta to Canada, and then from Canada to somewhere in New Hampshire to get maple syrup, and then back to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
80,000 people at Dragon Con?
Yeah, there's a parade. They shut down downtown.
I just assumed you were taking next week off, assuming you're going to be sick.
No,
Just saying.
actual con.
Vader
Not
Ray
next
Bob.
week, the week after next.
Vader Ray
80,000.
Bob saw Guar for the first time.
Oh,
That's
see?
quality.
I saw Guar for the first time on Beavis and Butthead.
You know, that's not bad.
Hey, they look cool.
It's not bad.
I think it was the first video they didn't rip, right? Guar came on and they were just like starstruck.
Actually, I saw one video they didn't rip, but they really kind of did when you think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Vanilla Ice one came up and basically flashed to them just staring at it flash back to the TV, and just a click.
My favorite one ever was some Bon Jovi love ballad came on, and John flipped his hair over the other way right after he'd gotten it cut for the first time, and Butthead went, "Oh no!"
The new episodes are showing on Paramount Plus, so be sure to check that out.
I'd like to get Paramount Plus, but there's that whole cost me my dream job thing. So,
well, you know,
yeah,
you can atone somewhat by them giving you new Beavis and Butthead.
Be a cold day in hell. Let me just run out to Target real quick.
I got that.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Crux Shadows at Dragon Con.
What is that?
It's a musical group.
What are they called?
Crux Shadows.
Oh yeah, I saw them. They opened for Corroded Coffin.
Do they play mandolins?
Yes. No. They're like a metal band.
No, they
play
the
lutes.
They play the sitar.
Oh my god. There's not a lot of bards. My god.
I can't handle. That's hell on earth, is what that is.
Not so many bards, but lots of druids.
Yeah,
Lots of
many
druids.
druids.
Yeah.
Lots of maidens. Lots of druids. Lots
A
of shields.
smattering of orcs.
What do you say we get to the news?
Yeah. All right.
We got to try it out for those 2 weeks when you're not here.
Right? You got
Son of a bitch.
You're on for the rest of it. I just had
No,
it.
I quit. That's
Wow.
it.
All right.
You know, I just read an article about how more and more jobs are getting automated.
She's out.
Man.
She's gonna get replaced.
She's going to come back with 14 Oreos stuffed in her mouth like a chipmunk.
That'll be awesome.
See? How many Oreos are in your mouth right now, Joe? 1. Okay.
All right. Excellent.
Fair enough.
First news item.
Oh, do it.
Operation Recall finished up its Kickstarter Sunday. You could watch it live with our pal Michael Mercy. He had Ron Rudett on. He had Mark Pennington on. It was a good old time. But we wound up with seeing 1,225 folks back this project. Total of $415,471. So congratulations to our good pal and Carson Matakis on a campaign well done. Still 3 or 4 stretch goals left for the backer kit, which is coming soon. Has not been launched yet. Let the man breathe for a minute, for crying out loud. But backer kit is forthcoming. And speaking of backer kits, next news item.
Nope. She's
I can't tell. I can't tell
Mark.
if she's refusing or just muted.
She is refusing.
Yeah.
So Mark, you may have to step in.
Joe, you got to unmute to refuse. So now we could hear you if you chose. Okay. Well, I'm no scab. I'm not crossing the line. I'm in solidarity with my sister.
Bring him back.
How you gonna ban me and not her? That's not fair.
You got banned once already.
That's not fair.
She got banned once. Next news item.
You want to duet it, Joe? 3, 2, 1. Do, 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 do. Yeah, it needs work.
Good effort. Good effort. But speaking of backer kits, Call Sign Longbow's backer kit is active. And you can go check it out there at longbow.backerkit.com. If you missed out on the Kickstarter campaign for this one, go sign up for the backer kit. Get your longbow on there. If you did subscribe or back the Kickstarter, you can add more figures to your pledge through the backer kit. They will continue to collect funds and unlock figures as the backer kit goes on as well. They are collecting through November 15th. So you got a little time. Figure out what you got. Let your wallet breathe. Let it recover from the bruising that it's taken this summer. And then get on over and figure out how you want your Call Sign Longbow forces to line up.
You know what I hear?
Sorry, Hat Ninja.
Did you know what I hear, bro?
I hear they got furry hat ninja.
I hear they got Red Ninja for Joe, bro.
That's
With
good,
fuzzy babushka hat.
That's good. I also hear thick in the crotch, bro.
Fuzzy crotch too, bro.
Maybe.
Next news item.
That's a whole other show, I think.
That's with the He-Mans.
Right? Man, He-Man. That's another one we can look at and go, nerd!
I mean, not really.
They get more
Oh!
cartoons.
Hey,
They get more cartoons than we are.
Yeah, they got a new cartoon that's awesome.
He-Man was garbage.
What do we got?
Look, I'm not saying that it's better. I'm just saying that we can't really gatekeep on that one.
I finally got some enjoyment out of the He-Man franchise this week. There was an image going around on Facebook that had Tila obviously in her room looking in the mirror and starting to take off her little tiara. And in the background window, there was Mechanex's head sticking up. So yeah, pervy and you know, not that nice to women, but funny.
But Beta Ray Bob says, I bet Longbow and Recall will look good together. They are pretty well compatible. So yes, you can certainly think of them that way. They will look good together. Okay. Adam Bradley Freeman says, okay, I'm here finally. Good.
All right, let's start over.
That's there is a quiz, so whatever. Hope you can catch up notes from somebody else. But yes, so anyways, again, Backer Kid is live now. Come back and take a screenshot of that. Get the address down. Check it out when we're done here tonight. Next news item. Oh, so we're back.
Hey, I'm following her lead.
See? He gets what he wants, but he's smoking.
Let's be honest. Nobody wanted to hear a duet part 2.
No, that really didn't work out too well. Yeah. But it's time for the Hasbro Pulse HasLab Classified His Tank updates.
With a Tack Kitty.
With our friend Chonky.
Chonky Cat.
In his cardboard tank. He makes me happy.
He already lost his microphone.
Yes.
Probably down in that tank somewhere.
Probably shake the tank around a little bit.
Shake the tank.
Pre-lost microphone.
That's it.
So anyways, this week, the Hasbro HasLab Classified His Tank, we're down to 3 days left on this bad boy. Almost exactly 3 days left. I'm going to pop over and get a drum roll from Rack Time, Rob. All right, he's actually doing a drum roll. I'm impressed. Currently, 19,724 backers. So they have picked up a good 700 backers since midnight. That's a lot for late in the run, but I think all the folks who were just hedging are going to pile on. This is going to be even bigger still. So got one of those little flies around. So if you see me just swatting at the air, that's what it is.
What you swatting at?
Right?
He's gone mad.
Little bastards. I went out. I bought traps specifically for those flies. They're ignoring them.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, but they're mouse traps. They ain't going to work.
They might as well have been.
That little thing that swings over and misses it, whiffs it completely.
You got about 400 mouse traps on the floor. Superhuman's going to come over and go, whoop, whoop.
This is for my juggalos and juggalettes.
Don't try this at home. And if you don't know what we're talking about, shame on you.
Right? Safety first. Good on him.
That guy's all elite.
Oh. Joe Self says he's backing his on Monday. That's not funny. Nope, he's out. Just for that, I'm going to kick Mark out of the podcast again.
Wait, good Lord! He's gotten drunk with his own power.
Telling you, keep this up. I won't be back next week.
Yeah. Adam asks, Superhuman is still relevant? No, not really. No.
Spelled it wrong. Just saying. Show my boy some respect.
Anyways, so they showed off some really cool diorama pictures of the His Tank in action, and I don't know what justice we can do that you haven't already seen them on your own social media, be it Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, or what have you. So we do have the bulk of them here. You can see there the HISS driver getting outfitted by some infantry and rolling into action with his Cobra headlight.
Which they rotated, right?
Looks like it, yeah.
Wasn't it backwards first time we saw it?
Sure.
It was.
Yeah, it was. It looks like they rotated about 180. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to take credit for that, but
no, stinking fly is landing on my hand.
If you want to give me credit for it, I'll take it.
Sure, go with it.
Just like they retired that brutal chest cut once they heard me complain.
That didn't happen though.
Well,
in fact, they kind of dug out a worse one for Storm Shadow, just so you can complain extra.
I'll just complain the same amount because it's working.
And here we have some daylight shots. I love this one with the trooper charging out the back.
Yeah, their photography is fantastic. Yeah, they don't get enough credit for
it. They do not. The guys they have doing their dioramas are just amazing. And you could get a little bit of a better look at the storage capacity of the back of the HISS tank. It's not a huge amount of space, but it looks like it's enough to hold 2 figures, or at least 1 figure and some gear.
I think it's 1 fig, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's 1 more than the old HISS tanks ever gave us.
I thought Ravage and Rumble and Frenzy, Laserbeak were all going to come bouncing out. Pretty cool.
They can.
They could.
No one's going to stop you from doing that. But we've also got here some cockpit shots. You can see the inside of the cockpit, and then the HISS driver with his little fold-out ladder, which is an awesome little touch. Diana Davis wants to know how many Oreos can fit in the HISS tank. We will find out for you.
Was she talking about the HISS tank?
I don't know. Joe Colton, how many Oreos can you fit in there?
On a bet, Joe, how many?
Probably 8.
Look like Lenny Dykstra kissing George Brett.
Right.
Try to lose that image, baseball fan.
Oh.
There was a big mouth joke in there that I wasn't.
Nope. It was not a setup.
I was not going to touch that one, but Joe Colton took it home for us, so good on her. And then finally, we've got just a couple of action shots here. Got our HISS tank friend rolling into action, and then getting re-outfitted by his team again. I kind of dig that last picture where the HISS driver's checking his watch.
I like, man, that
it's like he's in the pits, you know.
The one on the left with the dirt kicked up in the air, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, of course, the action shot is awesome, but I like the HISS driver thing, and he's in the pits at Indianapolis, kind of.
Yeah. I'm off the lead lap. Come on.
I don't know, Mark. Cornelius McGillicuddy says he's the reason why they turned the light around.
Them's fighting words.
We gonna brawl about it?
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I'm just glad they fixed it, but that was something I was screaming about on week 1. Like, it doesn't make any sense to have it be backwards.
You can probably stack like 5 Oreos at the turret alone. So that yeah, probably. I mean, it's made for a 6-inch figure, so you see he's in there up to kind of lower part of his chest. That's got to be 5 Oreos. HISS driver is Stone Cold from Royal Rumble 97. There we go. There's a deep wrestling cut for today. And so yeah, that's it for HISS pictures. That's it for traditional news. That's what we got. Again, be sure to check out those photos in greater detail. You'll get a much better view of them if you check out Hasbro Pulse on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or Emily's got them on her account on Instagram. There are lots of places where those things are popping up. So check them out, or with your favorite news site here and there and everywhere. But yeah. Anybody got anything? Anybody questions, comments, concerns?
I'm trying to work out and basically judging the size of an Oreo and how many can we cram into the tank.
happy they fixed that backwards Cobra logo.
Excellent. So we'll take our moment of silence. Joe Colton is oddly quiet, and that troubles me whenever it happens.
She's eating
got-
Oreos.
She's got peanut butter stuck to the roof of her mouth. But that vodka will clean it right up.
Yeah, there we go.
So anyways, we'll be right back with the definitive G.I. Joe character tier list for 1987 after a word from our sponsors.
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
There we go. Were you prepared for that one, Mark?
Yeah. Come on now. It's not surprising me anymore.
Yes. All right. So it's time for this evening's heaviest undertaking. As we said, the 1987 character tier list. And let me go ahead and get that pulled up for us. Mark, why don't you go ahead and give us an overview real quick?
Of 87?
Yeah.
I mean, they've said that, gone on record, Kirk Bazigian has, that 86 was the biggest year for overall sales of the G.I. Joe line, of the Real American Hero line. So I got to believe anything they had on the table for 87 got greenlit. Like, I don't think they pulled anything back. This is a massive, massive year for Joe. And I'm in no way am I saying that there was a lot of garbage in it. This was an absolutely stacked year. But I think they decided, look, anything that we think we can make, we know it's going to sell. So let's dump a bunch of product out there for these kids. They cannot get enough. Plus, we got a movie coming out. It's going to be amazing.
Right. It was 40 big figures that rolled out in 1987. We here, there, and everywhere. We had all kinds of stuff. And this is before the era of sub teams. So, yeah, this was a big year. One thing we are going to see starting in 87 is there's going to be a lot of privates. Because some of these characters, they got this figure, and that was really the last we saw of it. So get ready for that part of the program. But let's go ahead and give it a shot.
Do you have enough room on Private Row?
It'll just give us another line.
Okay.
Private Row needs its own Battle Force 2000 subsection.
Right.
Can we move them all there with the battle wagon?
No battle wagon yet.
Conceivably we could, but with the battle wagon is not a thing yet.
All right, fair enough.
So
a vehicle so deadly it almost killed Kirk Bazigian.
That's true.
Parking Fridge says going to be like boot camp, full of privates. And besides that, it was the battle bunker. Mobile battle bunkers.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And
the mobile battle bunker was the corpse carrier.
Yeah, that was
the battle wagon almost killed Kirk.
Yeah. So, anyways, first up is Avalanche. Get right into Battle Force 2000, and I think he is unequivocally a general.
Absolutely, General Avalanche. Come on down.
No, Avalanche is down here with the privates. We put Short Fuse on the private line, so if you're less impactful than Short Fuse, you're gonna be a private, and Avalanche fills that bill.
No argument.
Next up is Backstop, the Persuader driver, the one Canadian on the G.I. Joe team, unless you were born in Canada and they put all of them on Canadian hometowns or something. Joe Colton, you're our lead Canadian correspondent.
Mm-hmm.
You have any thoughts on Backstop?
No.
He's got trendy banana pants.
That just about
he's
sums
Canadian, and that made me proud when I was young. But like, he's not very popular.
Here with the private sounds very rude. Yes, it does. Yes.
Backstop looks great here because you cut them off before we get to the lemon custard
Yeah.
jammy pans.
Right? That's a lazy bastard custom waiting to happen.
He's
It
a winner
totally
from the
is.
tilt up.
It totally is.
So what do you say we just go ahead and slide him on next in the private line?
I'm not going to fight for him at corporal, but I liked him. I liked vehicle drivers, and he was always driving that Persuader, which hid the horrible pants. So I liked Backstop, but
I liked him. Okay.
Not enough to fight for.
Yeah, this isn't a question of who's got a better figure. It's who's what are the most. This is a character tier list, and Backstop did nothing.
Although as a vehicle driver, he came with a helmet and a big ass gun, right? Didn't he have a gigantic, dirty, hairy hand?
Yeah, he had a big old hog leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the table leg there. Absolutely.
So I'm not going to fight for him as a corporal, but he can be king of the privates.
Now that sounds dirty.
Hey.
I got you, king of the privates, right here. Anyway.
Oh.
Up next is Big Boa. And he's got something to say about being king of the privates.
Yeah. I mean, I can make Boa a corporal.
Yeah, Boa's got more going on.
Yeah.
Boa is interesting from the standpoint that he should have been a bigger deal than he was, right? Like this was the guy they created to be the arch enemy for Rocky. And then Rocky didn't happen. And Big Boa got rolled out in 1987 anyway, and there was really no story to him. He was just a goofy looking dude. He was the best of the goofy looking Cobras from 87, I think. But there's not a whole lot to him. I need convincing to not slide him into the private line too.
Here's what saves him, because neck down, he's got private written all over him. But his saving grace is that helmet with the tube is rock solid.
And his muscles.
Yeah. So if you just put up these photos to a lapsed G.I. Joe collector, one of the guys he'd remember is Big Boa. He's got more going on than the private class. Not much.
Does Big Boa have more going on than Short Fuse?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think, Rob?
I could put him corporal. Like I said, there's a little interesting backstory he's got, which is more of an interesting backstory than Short Fuse has.
Fair. I'm kind of in Jeff Butler's camp. Even Devil's Due killed him off screen.
Yeah, but they brought him back for a small but cool role in Last Laugh. So
yeah, okay. All right.
Short Fuse's backstory is he's pissy and he's from Chicago.
And he's from Chicago, yeah. And he has two names. We don't know why.
Yeah, that's it. And they're both assholes. So
up next is Blaster. Go ahead.
Question.
Yeah.
Where's Crocmaster?
Where is Crocmaster? Oh my God, I didn't download Crocmaster. Okay.
What is wrong with you?
Look, I did Crocmaster. He just didn't show
one
up.
job.
Okay.
One job, which was basically do everything for this.
I've never seen anyone that angry after Oreos, but
yeah, it's a sugar imbalance.
She's got a chip on her shoulder because she got kicked out of the show, but she doesn't understand that I'll kick her out again.
Okay.
She's got the sugar crash.
So are we gonna discuss Crocmaster since alphabetically it's his turn?
It's not his turn. We got Blaster up. Blaster's a B.
Coming right up.
So Blaster is a private.
Yeah, he sucks.
And up next is Blocker, and he's a private.
Private.
He sucks.
And so and we got Chuckles. And Chuckles is really who I thought was going to give us our first actual discussion of the night. I got Chuckles on the major line, guys.
No
I
lower than Sergeant, surely.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, that's really the two that we're determining here.
Yeah,
but he's not a general. But like Chuckles was the focus of an entire title. He did appear in the animation, although it was just in the movie, and he was the gooniest goon that ever gooned a goon.
He threw a missile.
He did throw a missile, and that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But
General Chuckles.
He did ride on a helicopter underneath the rotors, and that is the second dumbest thing I've ever seen. So, I mean, let's throw the movie out because it's only hurting him. But anyways, he at least did show up, so that's something. They had plans for him at least. But he was interesting in the Marvel book, and then he was more than interesting in Devil's Due. He got a freaking heroic death in Devil's Due. And then in IDW, he was the subject of a book to the point where they're like trying out, and Mark, you saw the script. They did try out a movie treatment for him. I think Chuckles a major. How many other guys have all that on their resume?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I was torn on him as a kid because I liked the more realistic military guys, and the Hawaiian shirt threw me. But I loved that it was a functional shoulder holster.
Right.
I thought that was awesome.
That's cool gear. You got to give that.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'll go major, but only because it'll help the GPA here. Because we got a lot of privates.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, like Chuckles he's a big deal. Like you think about the other guys that we've put on the major line. Chuckles is right in step with Gung Ho and Flint and in terms of what he's got in his history.
I pushed so hard to have them. It wouldn't have been me, but to have them try to get Netflix interested in adapting The Last Laugh, because it wouldn't have even been that expensive. Most of it takes place in hallways and meeting rooms, right? Until you get to the spoiler, turn away if you're planning on reading this now 20 years later. But the big nuclear sub base at the end. But man, oh man, Last Laugh with a young Guy Pearce as Chuckles. Oh, would have been fantastic.
So, Joe Colton, you have anything to say about Chuckles?
No.
Is that because you're still upset about the getting kicked off the show, or because you don't have anything to add?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay, just checking.
He's a major. I agree.
All righty.
Yeah, I do just like saying General Chuckles, though. That's kind of awesome. Not as cool as General Crazy Legs, but
yeah.
Well, that's coming.
He will never. Crazy Legs will never be a general.
But his legs, they're crazy.
He's a 1930s All-Pro halfback. But first, before we get to him, is Cobra Commander. And Cobra Commander, there was a lot done with this version of Cobra Commander. He was the focus. Granted, it was Fred inside the armor, but he was the focus of the Marvel comic for a good long while. He was the main bad guy on the Deke cartoon, for whatever that counts. I mean, the Deke cartoon was terrible, but at least he was there. 2 years after his figure came out, he was there. Tough not to keep this guy in the general line too, is it? Or is this version of Cobra Commander, is this not quite so iconic? Is this a major?
I think the only thing working against him is that the battle helmet and the cowl are both more iconic looks for Cobra Commander. So this is third of, I mean, he had a bunch of different looks, but this is definitely third. But I dug him as a kid because I liked the idea that Cobra Commander was a coward in the cartoon and pragmatic in the book. So he was never going to risk himself on the front line until they built him an Iron Man suit, basically.
Right.
And now he was like, yeah, who's in charge now, right? So I liked that, the dichotomy of they wrapped the coward in, unstoppable armor, and now he's leading the troops.
Yeah, it was very, very much a one-up game for losing whatever he had to Serpentor, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, the character is still iconic, and this was an important look for him, and a really good, if you want to call it third or second kick at the can, right? So different from what we'd gotten before. So I got no problem with General Cobra Command.
Okay.
There ain't a lot of generals in this list.
No, Rack Time Rob, what do you got?
The one thing that I think makes the other Cobra Commanders a general, and maybe not this guy, is if you look at a Cobra Commander, you look at the hood, you look at the battle helmet. Oh, hey, Cobra Commander. Just about everybody knows that. This one might get unless you're a GI Joe, a dyed-in-the-wool GI Joe fan, you're probably looking at it like, that's Cobra Commander.
He also working against him. What did he have the most confusing accessory ever? In that backpack?
Yeah, you don't quite know which way it goes, do you?
That one, I had Voltar wrong forever. Oops.
Anyways, Joe Colton, what do you think?
I don't know.
I'm guessing there is enough hesitancy to put him on the major line. That's what I'm reading from the group, and I'm okay with that.
That's fine.
Yeah,
he is definitely lesser than the previous Cobra Commanders.
Yes.
So, if we want to qualify that by making him a major, I don't have any problem with that.
Okay. And we'll come back to Crocmaster at the end because I'm not sure why that little thumbnail didn't get in there, but whatever.
Thanos made it.
Right. Yeah. Thanos is there. Where's Thanos going to go?
He's probably a general.
Thanos is a corporal in the G.I. Joe world. He's nothing. So up next is Crazy Legs.
He's crazy.
And Diana's got a great comment here from her work at IDW. Of all the Joes, I have to remind artist he's way dead. Crazy Legs is number one. Artist kept drawing him in scenes.
Maybe he's a Highlander.
So memorable, we forgot he was dead.
They just haven't cut his head off yet. So
he got his moments. They did more with Crazy Legs than they did with some other guys in Marvel, but that was it for him. Like once he was dead, there's never been a Crazy Legs comeback. He's kind of a one and done character. Even his death came in the middle of a bunch of other guys dying. Crazy Legs is a private.
I mean, he's only one and done because of Diana Davis.
he could have been having a sneak-like comeback.
So many Crazy Legs comeback shot down.
Right? He keeps clawing up out of the grave and she's stomping him back in.
Diana
beating him back with the shovel.
I didn't mind him as a kid, but when I found out there was a Night Force version later, so much cooler. Right? Because I don't like, I'm going to jump out of an airplane. Why don't you wear fire engine red so they see you the whole way down?
I just plunge like a rock.
Right?
So they know you're coming the whole way.
Wear bright red so when the RPG hits you, it'll just fade right into the flames.
Your blood won't stain it.
Right?
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just slide him next to Battle Force 2000 on the dead guy private line.
He lands in a heap, and they're like, "Is he bleeding? Probably." I mean, you wear candy apple red to jump out of a plane.
Up next is Crystal Ball.
Oh my god!
And Crystal Ball is kind of the definition of so bad he kind of comes out the other side. I think because Crystal Ball was the first, recognized as the first real train wreck. People know who he is.
Yeah, because he's still on pegs.
Yeah, that's true. Still available in finer Walmarts nationwide.
How many times did you go to the rack and go back? God damn it. 7 crystal balls, not one snow serpent.
I don't know what to tell you there, Mark. I'm sorry.
Man.
Clearly
he's not even necessary because why do you need a hypnotist if you have a master of mind control?
I get you. But I think the sheer disaster that is Crystal Ball kind of puts him on the corporal line.
He is memorable because he was the first one to suck that bad.
But memorable but being memorable for sucking is still sucking.
It's still sucking, but it's still being memorable.
All right, the 1988 Orioles are memorable because they sucked.
No,
they lost 21 games in a row.
I'm with Mike here. He's Eric Watts bad, right? Like we remember him because he was that shitty.
He's Eric Watts as the Kiss Demon bad.
That's it. Oh, it's so bad. Comes with Hypno Shield and nothing else.
Oh,
No shield left over from the Secret Wars line. Thanks a lot.
the gimmick so bad, even Brian Adams was like, "No thanks."
Right.
Joe Colton, what do you think about Crystal Ball?
He's wonderfully a private.
We're punishing him.
I'm with you, Joe.
All right.
Like, honestly, do you really think that he is as good as the corporal that's there?
No.
Yeah,
No. What is wrong with you? Yeah.
yeah, that's fair.
I think he's more memorable than Big Boa.
Get
And
out.
that's ultimately what we're talking about today.
Get out.
Memorable, but again, memorable for stinking is still stinking.
Yes, but it's still memorable.
Oh my God.
That doesn't make it great. I'm looking at I'm looking
Get
at
out.
like memorable because they were great.
You're gonna give Eric Watts a push?
I have no idea who Eric Watts is.
Joel McMullen up for Eric Watts. Amazing.
Oh, here we go. Eric Watts was the son of Cowboy Bill Watts, who ran the Mid-South promotion forever. And when he took over in WCW for a very short time, all of a sudden, here's his son who can't be beat. He's not in very good shape. He's not that good a wrestler, but wow, he wins every week. That's Eric Watts.
Matt Rubin says, I don't know if he designed the figure, but Crystal Ball was named after Stephen King's son, wasn't he? No. Peak was named after his son. But I believe Stephen King wrote Crystal Ball's file card.
At least that's the story.
Owen King is Sneak Peek, and that was Stephen King's son.
He's dead.
He's still
not Stephen King's son.
Yeah, he's dead. Sneak Peek's been killed a couple times.
Yeah.
But he's got that going for him. You know what? It's a 2-up tie. And that
go to the comments.
No, I don't care about the comments. We provide the definitive list.
I suppose that's true.
And the definitive list puts Crystal Ball in the corporal line.
Ugh.
Corporal Ball.
Ugh. I'm gonna have to appeal the commissioner on that one. Ugh.
Big Boa, right now, Big Boa's going, what stinks around here?
Yeah. Who let you in?
He
pounded him to death with his frozen turkey fist.
So bad he's memorable. So moving up, we've got we got a Battle Force 2000 guy. That's Dodger.
He's the only one. He's the only one you could maybe fight for.
I'm not fighting for him. He lived. They didn't do anything with him.
He was the coolest, though, man. He looked like a Colonial Marine.
He did get a version 2.
And it was a sound attack.
He was an exclusive that we made for a CoilCon one year. But no, Dodger's a private. They never did anything with him. A lot of these guys suffer from not being in any kind of animation, right?
That's true too.
Yeah.
Like the end of the Sunbow cartoon really hurt the tail end of the roster in 1987, 1988. And it's not until 89 when the Deke cartoon picks back up that some of these guys start triggering in people's memories again. So the bottom part of the 87 roster, we're going to have a lot of privates today, guys. So up next is Falcon. And Falcon is certainly not in the list of anonymous. From being the featured player in G.I. Joe, the movie, to being, if not a prominent, a regularly visible force in the comic books. He even showed up in the Deke cartoon. There's nods to him in other media. I think Falcon I got him on the Sergeant line. Like he's present in a lot of things. And certainly, I mean, the only argument I'll take, if you guys think the movie pushes him up to major, then I'll accept that.
I like him as a sergeant.
I think
the movie about right.
If the movie was better, it might have pushed him up to major. But.
Yeah. Hey, the movie's about the only thing that makes him stand out.
True, but it's a big thing. It's a big, being the focal point of that movie is a bigger deal than say, even Chuckles being in the comic book, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, that's kind of the argument for him as a major, because we don't think the movie's that good, but man, people know that movie, and as a result, people know Lieutenant Falcon.
I think you could argue it either way.
Well, let's make him a major just simply because we know it's this year, as big as it is, it unfortunately leaves us with turds aplenty.
Right.
Yeah, out of respect for Operation Recall and our boy Carson.
And you know what? And I'll just give respect for the fact that this is one of the standouts of the 87 figure assortment.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
He's one of the standouts of the figure assortment, period, frankly.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, so okay. Up next is Fast Draw. And I love Fast Draw, but Fast Draw as a private.
Loved him as a figure, but yeah, they never did much.
Yeah. He was like, he's always the guy in the back going, I'm going to shoot a missile at it.
Right. I'll throw a barrel at it.
I always like the idea of the
which is better than throwing a missile at it.
Right.
But,
I like the idea of the embattled frontline troops going, we're dug in, but we're taking a beating. Hey, Fast Draw's here. Foosh, foosh. All right, I'm going home, boys.
Yep.
I'm out.
See ya.
I mean, if he's on his game, then there's 2 dead things as a result of that. But it's Fast Draw was a guy who, when I was playing with Joe's, he had a permanent home in the seats that had like the missiles that would crisp a normal man.
Right.
Because it was like, well, he's in a fireproof suit, so that he can sit by the missiles. He shoots missiles for a living. He can do this.
Right.
So yeah, I used Fast Draw a lot. He was a gunner in a lot of vehicles for me.
Because Cell Block 4 is not afraid to go to jail. Cell Block 4 is from jail.
Wow.
Oh. Now we got the fridge. The fridge. I mean, he's not a private because he's the freaking fridge. He's Sergeant Slaughter without the staying power, but the fridge at his peak was a bigger deal than Sergeant Slaughter was, and we tend to forget that now. The fridge as a Joe was not a bigger deal than Sergeant Slaughter as a Joe, but I think that keeps the fridge off the private line.
Oh yeah. What would a fridge equivalent today be? From Pro Sports.
Oh shoot. I mean,
I'm trying to think of who's a big kind of nationally below. Like he's David Ortiz, right? He's David Ortiz.
Yeah, but that's not exactly today. But sure.
I can't think of another guy who's kind of universally beloved unless you're a Yankee fan.
Right.
Who's like a big character, kind of. He was a big deal.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Truly was a national phenomenon. But again, as a Joe, I think that piece of notoriety keeps him off the private line. But I think he's a corporal.
Joe, did you care beans about the fridge as an American football player on the Joe squad up in Canada?
I don't remember the fridge until I moved down.
Yeah, was he even a part of things up there? Did they bother?
I don't think so.
They should have made Gretzky.
They should have. Oh my God, they should have fucking made Gretzky. Oh, that makes me so mad.
Now we got her started. There we go.
He was tied up in the figure set for the Waikiki hockey.
Right? Mokahakaliki means hockey.
I love that skin so bad.
Andrew Galgan says the Tom Brady and Gronk 2-pack. I'd be all for this because I would love to shoot them.
Yeah.
Love to see them shot.
Actually, we could use them to reenact 2 crushing Super Bowl defeats.
Right. I mean, not in real life, of course. I don't bear them that sort of ill will, but in action figure form, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Cobra target practice right there. Joe Henry says, fridge is demoted 1 tier for never making it to my mailbox.
Oh.
Ooh.
Did you order him and not get him? That sounds like a deep cut right there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. Deep line here. Fridge represents when the Hasbro Joe team left doing something new and cool, just pandering to whatever they thought would make it quick money. Following trends, not setting them. Well, that's deep.
Yeah, when was that? 2020? Oh!
Viper Scout hitting the nail on the head. It was laughable that he was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
So
but he had a football on a chain, man.
I'm going to
Should've
go
come
ahead.
with a quarter pounder on a chain.
Right.
Yeah, he
go
could have
ahead.
swung it around, taking a bite every time.
I'm going to go ahead and slide Fridge on the corporal line. Just look, the fact that he was a G.I. Joe made it into the 85 Bears documentary on 30 for 30. So that right there says corporal to me. Up next is Globulus. Certainly not beloved, but definitely memorable. Mark Weber, what you think about Globulus?
I had everything, really, because I absorbed another kid's half collection that we shared. So I had pretty much everything up to this point. Multiples of a lot. And again, that's not because I was special or cool, but Joe's was my thing. I shared a collection with another kid, so we each figured out what we get for Christmas. And so we had everything except the flag, pretty much. And we knew that wasn't going to happen. And that's the first thing I walked into a store that was Joe, looked at it and went, yeah, I don't need that. Because Cobra Law, I hated
Right.
Cobra Law.
But this isn't about
Yeah.
whether you liked it personally, because nobody likes Globulus.
No.
I you know what? I'm going to rescind that
He's-
a little bit. He was good pay and work for Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
And that's always a positive thing. But what kind of indentation did he leave on G.I. Joe? And that's not a nothing.
He's got a little something going for him for his place in the overall lore. But he's also the least posable or fun figure ever.
Yeah, he is. He's
Aside from Deep Six.
He's
Deep Six at least can stand up.
True.
You can't play with this guy.
He's a conductor's wand with arms.
Yeah, he sucks.
Firefly says, true story. The only time I ever met the Fridge was in 1985 at a Sears. When I asked my mom if that's who he was, he ran away from me carrying a microwave.
I doubt if he ran.
Hey, that guy could move in his day. In 1985?
Yeah, that's true. But they should have given that microwave carry to Walter Payton.
True. But I had to put that up there because that's a good Nick Adams kind of story.
If you want to fight for place in history because of the movie for Globulus to get him off the private line, that's fine. But the inherent stinkiness of Cobra Law and the outright, get that swear jar ready, shittiness of that figure, I think, doom him to private.
I got him as a corporal simply because Cobra Law is accepted by some and rejected by most and beloved by none.
By a few.
I feel like certain things from Cobra Law are still rejected, but other things are not, or other characters are not.
Yeah, I mean it
depends.
That's true.
The same reason Falcon is argued for the major line as being the main hero in perhaps the most recognizable piece of G.I. Joe media. Globulus gets a lot of the same argument for being the main villain in that same piece of media.
And yet Chuckles is remembered more for throwing a missile than anything Globulus ever did.
Right.
True. He was not particularly notable in that. He was just, he was there for Burgess Meredith to get lots of cool lines. I got him as a corporal. I don't have him as anything more. He was upended in coolness by Nemesis Enforcer and Pythona in his own movie. So he's certainly not all that and a bag of chips, as they would say back in the day. But he's not a private either.
Yeah, he still sucks.
He does. I'm not arguing that, but he is the mastermind villain of the biggest piece of G.I. Joe media perhaps ever.
Burgess Meredith was the Penguin in the Batman TV show. I'd rather they fought the Penguin in the G.I. Joe movie.
The stench of his incompetence will outlast his death.
And I'm not saying that as a dig on the Penguin, but
all about the Penguin.
Yeah,
Joker's got a shoulder.
Up next is Gung Ho.
In his snappy dress uniform.
In his snappy dress blues.
Yeah.
A great figure, and at the same time,
the heck figure?
Yeah. truly a nice representation of the Marines dress uniform. I dig the figure, but I wonder where it actually goes to work in G.I. Joe battles.
I think he's out recruiting. I don't know.
Sure.
I mean, it works because the Marine dress uniform is perfect.
It's sharp.
Right? Like,
and it is gung ho, right? Like it's a good attempt to keep gung ho fresh in the line. And gung ho is a guy who we put at the major line. So he's even though he's in his dress blues, he's not a private, right? But
no, absolutely not. I thought it was cool because his first figure, as much as we love it and loved it at the time, it was kind of goofy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But this one was 1,000% serious, right? Like I love the dichotomy of that. So yeah, I don't think this takes away from gung ho at all. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Charlie Kokolski says Mike is fighting hard for the worst figures because this isn't about figures, guys. It's not about figures. This is about characters. Globulus it says in the title.
No.
Anyway, you know, Globulus, whatever. He's not my favorite either, but he made too much of an impact to be a private.
You can't spell suck. You can't spell suck without Globulus.
If you borrow the U.
Anyways, gung ho in his dress blues. Where do we put him?
I think it's a major. Gung ho is a major, and this representation was big time. Yeah. It may not have had iconic history in the books or in the cartoon or anything like that, but this is cool. Do you guys remember this sitting at all?
I don't know. I was done with that by the time this thing rolled around.
So. Yeah, Rob's old.
What?
Rob's old. He's Ringo. He's the oldest and the youngest of the What's on Joe Mind foursome.
He's also going to be the last one live.
Probably so, yes. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He never worked in toys. So, yeah, he probably will outlive us all. Yeah, I as much as I like it, I don't see him as a major. But if you guys all say major, then that's where I'm going to put him.
I mean, I don't think it's is as iconic as the original, but I don't know that I would ding him to sergeant. Even though Gung Ho was a sergeant, right?
Yeah, I like him as a major.
Rob,
I'll go major. I mean, it's Gung Ho or Gung Ho the character, and like I said, that figure just looks snazzy.
Yeah, I think he's more of a major than some of the other guys on that line, but.
And if they had tried to make a bigger deal of him, it wouldn't have worked, right? If he'd been running around in his dress blues.
Like, what are you doing?
Fighting the Cobra hordes.
And it would have been disrespectful, kind of, right? To the actual colors. So
like Cobra's only going to launch a sneak attack during a dress event so many times.
Right.
So up next is the Gyro Viper, the erstwhile Mamba pilot. And I'm just going to go ahead and slide him onto the private line next to Festa. He kind of looks like he's related to him because they both got those red helmets with the silver.
We got an adult dating site invading.
Hey, don't go there. I've been there. It's no good. Gyro Viper, for one of the coolest and most outlandish Cobra vehicles, and that's saying something. Gyro Viper is boring. A boring helmet. He's wearing tan with what does he have? Maps on his legs.
He's got good details, but none of them are painted.
He sucks. He is the anti-Strato Viper. Like if you put the Mamba and the Mamba and the Night Raven next to each other, touching down on the airfield, and you're like, whoa, look at that. Cobra's got some heat up in the air now, baby. And then the cockpit's open, and you're like, what the
The Mamba. That's Cobra's lady helicopter.
Right?
The Mamba.
With this guy in his khakis coming out of it. Like, ugh. Right? Strato Viper looks like a Sith Lord. This guy looks like a J.C. Penney model.
That guy's got
with a welder's mask. This guy looks like bad cosplay.
He's got Keelhaul walking up to him and going, hey, nice khakis.
Right.
Are those Dockers?
Joe,
Barking
could you put
Flames.
together a convincing Gyro Viper for $50 in 2 days?
There go any cosplay plans I had for Gyro. Thanks, Mark.
That's it.
Sure.
Welder's mask, khakis, you're good.
I mean, maybe I could do it for $50 with some
Helmet.
hot glue.
The helmet's going to blow that budget.
No, cardboard. I could do it with cardboard.
Right? Just spray paint it silver. Off you go.
Moving on, because we got a lot to go. Hardtop is next.
Oh, you got a picture with his mic.
Right. Only the best from 3D Joe's.
Private.
Yeah, there's nothing to him. He did get that cool Tiger Force repaint and when the club redid him, but that wasn't cool.
No.
So yeah. Up next is the Ice Viper, the Wolf Pilot. Very cool figure that
Big.
nothing was ever done with. So I'm going to go ahead and slide him next to Hardtop.
I like that they gave
That
him
pains me. That pains me.
Yeah. There should have been more with the Ice Vipers, but
Cool figure, cool vehicle, but yeah.
That pains me.
I like that they gave him Ninja Psy for no reason, right? Like when you think of Psy as your main weapon, you think of Elektra and then Ice Viper.
It's good for chipping ice off his window.
Elektra, Raphael from the Turtles.
That's
and
it.
The Ice Viper.
Ice Viper.
Chipping ice for his iced mocha as he flies by on the wolf.
But now we're talking.
That helmet would need the visor you can raise, and true, but you can also pop that helmet back to where you can see his eyes. So, up next is Jinx, and Jinx gets a discussion.
Yeah,
Jinx is very important in the entire Hama run of the Marvel book. Was a big part of IDW's Chuckles book, even if it was to die. Spoilers. She was a big part of G.I. Joe the movie, which has scored a lot of points to this point. Jinx is a major, isn't she?
I think Joe's got to lead this off. This is the only one she's cosplayed from '87.
Yeah.
Well, Joe did have a run as Taurus, so.
Oh.
Anyways, go on.
I'd like her to be a general, but
pretty good in Renegades as well. Yeah, there you go, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't think she's a general because I don't think she's like that. She's not that synonymous with G.I. Joe, but
she is definitely a high major.
Does she walk with the folks who are on that major line? Absolutely.
Oh
yeah.
Well, and she's a key player
Yeah.
in the best part of any live action Joe movie ever, right?
She did, and she contributed to that mountain scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That mountain scene.
Fight on the mountain, yeah.
And the fight on the mountain is unsurpassed.
That's the best fight scene.
People who poop on Retaliation, who just say Retaliation was garbage. I'm like, you didn't watch the mountain scene. It's like the same people who say episode 1 was garbage, right? I hated all of episode 1. You didn't like the Darth Maul saber fight?
Yeah.
Like,
people they're like, just that
right.
one though.
Oh yeah, it could have been a 12-minute movie. Sure, but
just that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Jinx is great. Sneaky, almost sneaky good, right? Because she's been
which is
never the leading lady, really, but she has been very important in several different iterations of Joe. So
and always a strong character. Never like they never play her as like somebody who's insecure and growing into it. She's just a stably confident character.
Yeah. Well, if anything, that was G.I. Joe the movie kind of did that, and then she would put the blindfold on, and that was the end of it. So even then, she had a fix for her own problems.
Right.
But Mark said sneakily high on that list, and I think as a ninja, that's very fitting.
There we go.
Up next is Knockdown. He's dead, and he's a private. Okay, next up we got Law. And Law's defining characteristic is he looks like
Order.
Order. Well, he tried finding the bombs, but it was better if he drove the car.
Right.
Right.
and Law was in the movie and had the funny line. And past that, that's about it. So, looking like Kirk Bazigian is Law's character. So where do we slide Law?
I mean, he's better than that. He's better than that bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
he's better than the guys on the corporal line too.
Yeah,
look,
I'm Sergeant.
Even being Kirk Bazigian's lookalike is a better story than Short Fuse.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I thought he was Johnny Bench.
Not bad.
I mean, seriously, look at it, and it's not too far off.
He might be
who Kirk Bazigian was when I was 12.
Right.
Yeah.
He might be a corporal, and the dog boots him up to sergeant.
Why does the dog boot him up to sergeant?
We love the dog. Who doesn't like the dog?
Order's great, and I love dogs. I just put together a dog intro for the show.
Sure.
But whatever.
He's better than that corporal line.
He's not Timber. He's not
better than the corporal line. He's a sergeant.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Yeah, he fits nice. He's not a major. He's better than the corporals. There you go.
I mean, he's better than the corporals on this. I don't know if he's better than some of the corporals we did in previous years.
That's true. But man, we should do a definitive, all of them at once line and see what happens.
We'll do the definitive generals when we're all done. Then we'll do the definitive majors. We will sub-rank, and then they will probably come to my house with pitchforks and kill me.
Maybe they can fight bracket style.
If you're making us do that, I will let them in.
Who wins the private rumble?
Paloma wants to see the dog intro. Maybe if we have time at the end.
But Splash doesn't.
Splash is ambivalent, I guess. I'm an hour behind on the show on the His Tank picks. In case you're wondering, Emily told us there would be no more stretches. Yeah, we know. We told you that. Like 2 weeks.
Is Lemily what we're calling the two of them together, or is that a
that's
mistake?
what Travis is doing? Because Travis is kind of weird that way.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Freaking me out.
Right? Yeah, that's. I don't know if I'm taking that. But Splash is snoring. So yeah, okay. So Splash is ambivalent. Up next is Maverick.
Like half the audience. Hey-o.
Up next is Maverick. Half. That's a good week for us. We got a lot of folks in live chat today. Up next is Maverick.
Private.
Yeah, Maverick had a nice issue of special missions, but outside of that, he's dead and he's Battle Wars 2000, and that's usually private right there.
Now let's see if the bias shows its ugly face.
Now we got Mercer. I mean, Mercer's not a private, but he's not much more. He's just
There's the bias.
My God.
He got in the movie, which is great. He had 2 lines and didn't do a whole lot. And then makes sporadic appearances in the comic. Larry never had any use for him because Larry understands that he would be in jail. I mean, he's a corporal. He's just a corporal.
Without much screen time or page time, Mercer is a top 30 most popular Joe.
Yeah.
Which is incredible, kind of.
I don't know about that.
Kind of. I don't know about top 30. I think that's stretching it.
I think Mercer's incredibly popular for what he was given.
Yeah.
I think Mercer is a guy that everybody says, "Oh yeah, I love Mercer," and then when you ask them to list off their favorite Joes, Mercer shows up somewhere in the top 50, and that's about it. So, again, I'm not denying Mercer his due, but I think Mercer's due is not that much. He's kind of notable. He's got an interesting backstory, and he's never really appeared in media past. Again, a fleshy cameo in G.I. Joe the movie.
I feel like he's more popular than Big Boa and the Fridge.
Yeah, but that doesn't make him a sergeant. Like I wouldn't put him on the same level as Law if that's where we're putting Law.
I'd put Galobulus ahead of Mercer.
He's more
Don't.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god! I
Shame
can't be
on
friends
you.
With you.
He seriously, he does nothing.
Oh
How
my
many
God.
guys how many guys from 87 got a second fig? Like a totally different new sculpt second fig.
Are you guys sure this is definitive? Yes.
Yes? Banzord.
We are. They are all definitive. It says so in the title.
Well, let's see. Falcon got one. Psych Out got one.
Psych Out got a repaint.
Dodger got one.
Your story is potentially cool, but no one did much with it, and that's the point I like to make.
True.
No, Psych Out got a completely new figure.
Oh, that's right. The funky one with the head wrap.
Yeah.
Right.
The Lobot version.
the Lobot. No. It wasn't the Lobot. It was like the cyborg one.
The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. It's got like the run red eye over the helmet. He looks like Cyborg from the Teen Titans.
He's Knockdown.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to pour some out for my boy Knockdown.
Photo Viper has an interesting point.
What about?
About Mercer.
There we go.
From G.I. Joeberg's storyline? I haven't seen it, and frankly, if it was all about fanfic, then yeah, no offense to Joeberg. We love the work that they do, but it's fanfic, guys. No.
I'd put Mercer as
not
Sergeant.
figure into my argument. Because fanfic is renowned for taking obscure characters.
I think there's a possibility.
Hold on for a second.
Okay.
Fanfic is renowned for taking obscure characters and doing things with them. So you can take a fanfic example of every character that we have put on the Corporal or Private line and say, well, this is a great story with this character. Why is it? And that's why we don't pay attention to fanfic for this. I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
I think there's stuff that could have been done with Mercer and never was.
No. He's his popularity gets him off the Private line when ordinarily he would be on the Private line, but it doesn't get him up over the Corporal line.
He is a flaming pile of untapped potential, and that's
he's gonna do better at Corporal than the other two Renegades.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, let's just give Mercer his context here.
Of the Joes they haven't made yet for Classified or announced yet, for popularity, Mercer's top 10 of unmade G.I. Joe characters.
He's right there with Short Fuse. Up next is Nemesis Enforcer.
Yeah.
Came out of the movie looking really cool, but that's really all that's been done with him. I would put him as the cool villain from G.I. Joe the movie. He's certainly memorable, if only as a shooting star blazing through the sky.
He's the Darth Maul.
Sergeant?
I'm still thinking Corporal. I don't know if it still gets you up above that.
Doing hand signals with the sun. He wanted.
Is he gonna bunt?
No. I bought Hostess cupcakes for dessert.
Ooh.
So he snuck down the stairs, and I pointed him to him, and he held them up, and he went, 1 or 2? 2, dude. That's all you.
Yeah, they're making those smaller. You got to go to 2.
They are, man.
Yeah.
It's like the sneaky soda 2 liters that are 1.75.
Joe Colt, Nemesis Enforcer, talk to me. Mark Webber. Sorry. Talk to me. Long silence. Sorry.
Sorry. Fine. Oh wait.
You're saying
No.
You said Corporal. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
He's definitely more popular than the Private line.
I would put him ahead of anybody on that Corporal line.
But he's not. It was just the movie. He's not like overly popular from the comics. So like.
Not at all.
Not at all, right? Like that's what I mean. Like he.
But
like,
again,
it's just the movie.
It is just the movie, but that just the movie is that movie.
It's a big deal. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. So
but in all of G.I. Joe, just a movie.
Yeah, I think out of that movie, him and Pythona are the cool villains.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Like she's
and Python
She's
is a
high up
nudge
there.
better than he is. But I think I wouldn't put either of them higher than Sergeant.
No.
No.
Mark Webber, what do you think about Nemesis Enforcer?
I mean, he's even people who didn't like Cobra Law, like me, came out of it going, but that guy was kind of cool, right? He was the It's the shame of a movie when the privileged henchman or the lieutenant is actually cooler than the big bad. But that's what we got here. He was pretty cool. And I just didn't like that he was unstoppable all movie until Sergeant Slaughter just hit him a bunch. And then, I'm tapping out. I'm done. So,
that man has the constitution of a vending machine.
True. Well, he's better than, obviously better than the Private Line. But because they just haven't done anything with him, which I'm fine with, by the way, because that means no more Cobra Law. He can sit on Corporal, and Globulus can pretend he's as cool as him.
Rob?
I'm with Corporal.
All right, then. I am outvoted on that one, so we will put him on the Corporal line. Where he can hang out with Mercer.
Right.
Up next is Outback. Outback did not show up in the animation. He was not one of the Rawhides. He is certainly popular since. He was a big deal in Larry's Marvel run for a while. He had a couple of really interesting stories. Really well fleshed out character. And that's about it. He is popular. I got him as a sergeant. If we got Law as a sergeant, I got Outback right there with him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that works.
All right. Then we got Payload. I'm just going to go ahead and move next to his pal Hardtop. Cool that he's an astronaut and all, but he's just the dude in the shuttle. Next, we got Psych Out. And Psych Out, for all of his neon colors and goofy antennas, got a little more run in Larry's book than anybody on the Private Line. But I want to hear what you guys think. Mark Webber, you famously love Psych Out's pants.
He's a battling shrink. He's pretty much the opposite of Backstop, right? If you put those two together, which I have the talent to do, you'd have a pretty badass looking trooper, and one guy looking like he was just ready to go to a rave. I didn't mind that he was a shrink, right? Like I didn't have any problem with that.
No, that's an excellent job for a team like G.I. Joe, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's well booked, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 with all the lunatics on this team. But the Mars Attacks backpack and the Lobot wraparound thing with the antenna, and I just wasn't. This is the guy I actually loved his Night Force figure because it made him look
better figure.
It made him look like a spook basically. So
even with his dye job.
Even with the dye job. So I didn't care for him. He never advanced the story much, I thought, comic wise. So he doesn't do much for me. He's a little better than most of the privates, but he had no more impact than Crazy Legs other than living longer. So I would dump him in private.
Interesting. Rob?
Psych Out, I think, is a character who they wrote a cool file card for and then stole an unused design from Kenner's Superpowers, and not one of the DC characters, one of the ones Kenner's tried to make up themselves.
He was Cyclotron.
Yeah.
But again, forget the figure. We're talking about the character. So
I know. I mean, character-wise, he's maybe a corporal, but beyond that, because basically he would just show up in the background. Psych Out. What do you think? Well, blah blah blah.
He was kind of one of those Mr. Exposition guys. Yes. Yeah. Joe Colton.
Private.
All right, Rob. What did you say?
He's a private. He just
okay.
You know why?
He's a nudge. Go ahead.
Because he sucks.
yeah.
He's a nudge better than the other privates, but he's a private.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can be captain private.
Oh my god.
General private.
General private. Up next is Raptor.
Oh no.
God.
I loved Raptor in the Marvel comic, frankly. I loved it that he was this really talented accountant that just dressed like a falcon for reasons known only to him. And he was
good for the birds.
Right. It was great for the birds.
Him and the birds.
He wound up with
the birds,
Cobra Commander Fred's merry band of misfits, and then he died in the freighter. And I mean, absolutely loved this guy's arc, but outside of some comic relief, is he more than a private?
Not really, because I mean, even his specialty is weird. What's a terrorist organization need without Falconer?
I mean, he's more memorable than the rest of the private line.
Yeah,
you think?
I mean,
only because he looks like direct-to-video Hawkman.
Well, yeah.
The argument for him is the same as the argument for Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, our dating site friend is back.
I got it.
All right.
So,
yeah,
Corporal.
I agree with that. He gets the dead cat bounce that Crystal Ball got.
Yeah, I mean, if Crystal Ball's on the Corporal and Raptor, I'd take Raptor over Crystal Ball 100 times. But
he did carry a gun, so.
And he could soar, I
one,
guess,
but,
with his Condor Man wings. So there's some play value there.
In the comic book, he didn't fly. So
but I guarantee you, every kid that had him, if he wasn't flying, he was at least soaring down from somewhere high, right?
Gliding.
Whereas Crystal Ball has a Tron shield he can throw, maybe.
Yeah. I doubt he could pull that off.
Yeah, the best play value of the Hypno Shield is it makes that wiki noise when you scratch it.
So 1987 is basically going to get its second corporal for sucking.
Yes. No, third with Globulus.
Yeah. Well, Globulus didn't get it for sucking. He got it for being the main bad guy in a big piece of media.
Sucking.
He just happens to suck.
If it wasn't Burgess Meredith, it would be total suck.
Yeah, fair enough. Up next is Red Dog. And Red Dog is just going to go on the private line. Great file card, and that's about it.
One bit on Red Dog, when they redid his figure in the modern style, they used Lenny Panzica's head for Red Dog.
Oh,
really?
Yep.
All right.
There you go. So take a look at that, Joe fans.
There's your neat bit of trivia.
Whoa. Hey, Mike, how'd you do that?
How'd I do what?
You got a Royal Guard away from our friend in Florida.
Well, it really just got a picture of him. And don't tell him, but in real life, I have two.
Oh, not for long, not anymore.
Yeah. We're going to get robbed tonight.
I'm not saying he would drive up and break into your home to steal them, but he'd pay Rob to do it.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Royal Guard and pop him on this line too.
Oh, please.
Hang on. I got Adam Riches on the phone.
Because out of all of the troop types in Cobra, I like there's one guy who collects these, and I swear it's ironically. So up next is Rumbler, and he is the obscurest of the obscure.
Yeah, that guy goes there too.
Right there too.
He didn't even make the catalog.
No. Up next is Sea Slug.
Make some room.
We'll just I kind of like
going.
This is an awfully public group of privates here.
He's got a neat gun and a cool looking uniform and I'm okay with the manta.
He almost matches what's his name? Nemesis Enforcer in his purples. Like purple and pink. Like
dude, they'd be a classic tag team. Big man and little guy, right? Sea Slug does all the talking.
Sea Slug and Nemesis Enforcer.
It's HBK and Diesel all over again.
So bad. Like, did they not think this through? Go on. What's the next private?
Sea Slug. They really couldn't come up with anything better than Sea Slug.
Nope.
So much shit.
Barracuda.
Up next is Sneak Peek. who is notable for dying twice. But he was in the middle of things for a little bit. I had to ask the question, sneak peek, is he dead? Maybe. No one knows for sure.
Maybe. Today, yes.
So
he's died on page twice. I mean, no.
Matt Rubin says Mike forgot to get a pick for Crockbastard. No, Mike didn't. It did not get uploaded. So no. You're looking to get kicked out, aren't you? He's looking to
Back off, I'm starving.
He's looking for 5 minutes. Anyways, so sneak peek. Does he get enough to get him off that private line? I think he might.
I'm glad he came with a pretty good looking rifle.
Look, he's got more going on than Big Boa does, and you put Big Boa there.
Now he gets penalized for coming with the most useless accessory ever. He can't even hold it. There's no handles for it.
Yeah, there is. It's just the eyepiece.
He can't hold that thing. It's like putting a tuba with a G.I. Joe. Go into war, buddy.
No, frankly, the tuba would.
Godspeed.
That would have been awesome.
No wonder he got shot. They gave him a tuba.
Twice.
So
anyways,
they killed him twice.
He's got more going on than Big Boa does, and you put him on the corporal line. So
Big Boa is memorable.
Sneak peeks. Sneak peek is so unmemorable they can't remember if he's dead or not.
But
they killed him twice.
Killed him
to
twice.
Make sure. To make
How
sure.
many guys get killed twice?
Only guys who suck that much.
Yeah.
That two different people want to kill him off.
We didn't kill that guy the last time. Maybe we should kill him again.
Rob, what do you think? Bring it along, Rob. Come on, we're running out of time.
I know. It's just, again, it's another pilot disappointment on Sneak Peek. It's just.
Yep. Put that on the private line there, Mike.
Yeah.
That's the thing about a lot of 1987. It's a big. Hey, that could be what? No, that's terrible.
Up next is Steamroller, and he's just going to go right there because he's terrible.
Came with a knife.
He did come with a knife. He didn't come with a shirt.
He cut the shirt off.
Then we got Steel Brigade, who is
can't use that term. I believe that's legally owned by somebody else.
Yeah, whatever. In 1987, it was Steel Brigade, and he's a private because nobody even talks about these guys. They talk about G.I. Joe green shirts. So he's a guy that isn't a character. He's a bunch of characters, and he's the second most popular one of those. Okay, moving on. Taurus is next, and Taurus is also on this bottom line.
Redhead.
Really?
Nice haircut, though.
I would have put him on.
He's got an interesting file card, but that's it.
Why would you
Most
put
people
Taurus
don't know this guy exists.
Why would you put Taurus on
Teasing.
Next, we got Techno Vipers, who are great, but not characters, not even terribly used all that heavily. So they'll go right there. Finally, we got Tunnel Rat.
Did Photo Viper say Steamroller is dope? Get out.
Whatever. He can be as dope as he wants, but he never did anything. So
you just forgot the A.
Yeah. This isn't about how cool your figure is. This is about how much impact you made as a character, and Steamroller is 0. So Steamroller is a dead leaf falling off of a tree in autumn. Tunnel Rat. Where we got Tunnel
Major.
Rat?
Sergeant.
I think that's the argument, is what side of that line.
I don't think Sergeant is even in the question. I think he's a major.
All right.
I think you're forgetting Falcon and Jinx and Chuckles up there, then Tunnel Rat's right there. Tunnel Rat is perhaps perhaps the most enduring of all these characters.
Tunnel Rats and Renegades.
Yeah, he
made Resolute.
He wasn't he was never as big a deal as Falcon. He was never as big a deal as Jinx, but he's always there.
Yeah. He's big time. He's better than Outback and Law.
Yeah.
Like they carry forward with Tunnel Rat. I think he's definitely a major.
Okay.
Then we got Worms, and Worms are great. Fantastic figure. That's a private.
Yeah.
Because the Maggot unfortunately got no play. We would just see them driving the Maggot in the comic once in a while, and that's all. brings us last and well, almost last to Zanzibar. He's a private or he's a corporal.
See, I would just
Mark
to make room. I would argue the Techno Viper could be a corporal because he's a solid troop builder who has endured throughout the years. And I'd put Zanzibar down there to finish the private line.
Yeah. I can go with that.
No, I'm not putting the Techno Viper higher than private. What did a Techno Viper ever do?
Solid troop builder, man.
Solid troop builder is great, but like whatever. They never even made another one. Well, they made another one in '94 or whatever, but it was just a repaint of the same figure.
If you've got room for a third row of privates, send them on down.
Yeah, look, it'll make
Look at that.
It'll make as much room as we need.
There you go.
And then last, we would get Crocmaster, so we'll just scribble him in later. But where does everybody have Crocmaster?
Out of those Cobras that got introduced that year, I think he's the most memorable.
Mm-hmm.
He's better than Big Boa. He's better than Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
He's crazy enough to serve a purpose with Cobra too. It's a crazy purpose, but it works.
Right.
I mean, they are the type of group that would use, man-eating crocodiles as security.
Sure.
They're cheap.
I'd go Sergeant.
See, he never showed up anywhere. Like, he was a great figure and a great idea, but he was never in the comics of any kind. He was never.
No, he made the comics a couple times.
Yearbook
Yearbook 4, Cobra Civil War.
I get you. Look, we want to count individual appearances, then we'll get to short fuse. But like, he didn't do anything in those books really, except he got spotlighted as, oh, like, the guy's got crocodiles, and then he was dealt with in a couple of panels, and that was the end of it. He's
better than those other guys, though.
By
a decent margin.
Again, I think he's a great idea that just didn't get used, like so many of these guys, because the animation went away.
He was great in Last Laugh, even though it was just scene stealing, basically. So I got him as a sergeant. Better than the corporals who never, other than Globulus, who didn't deserve his position.
I mean, this corporal line, we're being generous to some of them. So, I mean,
I guess. All right. Fair enough.
Sergeant Crocmaster.
Sergeant Crocmaster. Reporting for duty.
That's it.
He's already in classified. That's sergeant stuff, like it is for barbecue. Oh wait, it's not.
But people were hype when they talked about Crocmaster coming.
It's a fantastic figure. Look, don't get me wrong. The 87 figure is a real good figure. I'm not criticizing the coolness of it.
The 25th anniversary figure was a good figure.
But
I made that figure.
Asked, I think it's safe to say we all love the Cobra Convergence classified definitive Cobra tier list. Any chance we'll get lucky enough for one of the Joes by year's end? Maybe.
Yeah, if they start making some more Joes.
Right. Right. Maybe. We'll see what time allows. We got a few things on the burner. We're running out of time. So real quick, let's get into shout outs. Ragtime Rob, shout it out.
Hey, shout out to the audience tonight. Shout out to Mark. Congratulations on the new job.
Hey! Thank you.
Joe Colton.
Shout out to you guys. Congratulations, Mark, on the new job. Shout out to my friend Julie this week. She hurt her foot a while back, had surgery, and started physical therapy and is doing great. It'll be a long process, but she's going to do it. So
excellent.
Shout out to her.
What else you got?
And a shout out to the hubby. He's been wonderful this week.
Who hand delivered peanut butter Oreos to you?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Scoring points on camera.
Keeper.
Best husband ever.
He came out of the blurry background
to
appear in 4D.
I let him out of his closet.
From out of the Misty Moors came Wes.
Mark Weber, shout it out.
I'm going to shout out to my brother and my mom. My brother lives in Jersey, but we're both headed back home to Oregon next week. So I'm going to see my brother and my mom, which I don't get to see that much. That's awesome. And then it's high school reunion time next week, baby. 30th high school reunion for the Lava Bears.
Lava Bears.
And to my high school buddy Brent Beebe, and that's his real name, who said, "Hey Webb, there's a party Friday night. Are you coming?" And I'm like, put me on the list. And I'm like, hey, I didn't used to be on the list. Look at that, baby. So
Wow.
I'm one of the cool kids.
Social climbing.
It only took 30 years. So there you go. Brett Beebe, solid.
There you go. I want to give a shout out to our live audience tonight. Thank you so much for joining in and dealing with our madness. There's a good number of you tonight. If you're catching us on replay, we love you too. And of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, go ahead and give us a reaction, give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, give us a little huggy guy. We love little huggy guy, but give us whatever. Anything to help spin the algorithms over there, because Lord knows we don't know how to do that. If you're watching us on YouTube, really that's where you can help us the most. If you're watching us somewhere else, come on over to YouTube for a second. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, do all the YouTube stuff, because that's really what's going to help us just break out of our slow climb and into a more expedient climb. We do weird things here with our numbers. We have a low number of subscribers relatively, and all of you come back every week, and we love you. But I guess we'll just keep spreading the word, right? Just keep doing your part for us there. We really appreciate it. We love you. Just a couple of buttons. Give a shout out to you guys, to Rack Time Rob, to Joe Colton, to Mark Weber. Thank you so much for doing this week after week after week after week. Glad you enjoyed last week off, even though Rack Time Rob did not have last week off.
I got my Junior Buckeye Newshound Award.
Right? Shiftless Layabout Newshound Award.
A place at the table, baby.
Right.
That's right.
Again, thanks to Hasbro PR for extending that invite to us. We really do appreciate that. We'll make every one of them we can. And that's about it. That was the definitive tier list for G.I. Joe characters in 1987. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below, where we can tell you that the list is definitive and we're correct. But still, if you have some thoughts that you just absolutely have to share, that's where we'll do it. Next week we have no Honcho, correct?
No Honcho.
No Honcho next week, and then after
I'm in the party, baby. I'm one of the cool kids.
And then the week after that, Honcho is back and no Joe Colton.
Correct.
And then the week after that, Honcho is still back and no Joe Colton.
Correct.
So this is the last time we got the fearsome foursome all together for a few weeks.
Yes.
So enjoy that. We will have guest hosts aplenty over the next few weeks. So be sure to be nice to them. Otherwise, we'll know. Oh, we'll know. They will leave a note, and folks who are disruptive will be punished.
Hey, I know a guy who would like to be a guest host on our show.
I don't even want to know where that's going. But for Rob, for Joe, for Mark, I'm Mike Irizarry. Thanks so much for joining us this week on What's on Joe Mind. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your time. We're getting out in under 2 hours. They said it couldn't be done, and here it is. We'll try and get the dog intro posted on its own later on, because people seem to like that. I like it. Hey, thanks to Jim for letting me use pictures of his dogs. But everybody have a great weekend. As our friend Vagon says, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. Have a great rest of the evening. Have a great rest of the evening.
I can't hold it.
We're still on there live.